I am never gonna front. I definitely get nervous. I get nervous when starting something new. I get nervous when it's supposed to really happen. Uh, but here we are. Welcome to Bloy Meets World. I am Sean Bloy, and this is my podcast. It is years in the making. Uh, I had been waiting to launch this since 2018, and today's the day. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate every one of my friends, family, and loved ones who are going to be like jumping on this journey with me. It's pretty special. Um, I am not too. I'm not going to mince my words. This intro is a little bit rushed. I've been pretty busy actually. I have had guests visiting, and I'm about to go on a trip and visit some more loved ones. So I'm making this because I have deadlines now. I am I'm building a little brand. I'm building a media house for myself. I am going to be managing an artist. And this is an important one because this is pretty integral to what this podcast is going to be about. This is Bloy Meets World, and I am Sean Bloy. Damn, that's so cool to say. I am going to be managing an artist named Justin Phobes. He is a gentleman I met while I was bartending, and we had an interesting encounter. He was having lunch in preparation for a show he was playing later that afternoon. I was doing the lunch service, and he he was just a cool gentleman. We struck up a conversation, and we started talking about our passions, our passion projects, what we have going on, what we like to work on. And I told him I was working on this. And this was in probably late February. No. In early to middle of March. Yeah, probably. Uh I was kind of refinding myself. It was a little transition point. A lot was happening for me earlier on this year. It's not that important. But when we met, we got the chance to like trade ideas. And one of the ideas was I'm starting this podcast and I'm going to be, starting up social media accounts. I'm going to be creating pages, uh, putting out media. I've I've helped other companies with their social media, and I worked in marketing. So I kind of have an idea of what was getting myself into with what I was offering him. And in that moment at the bar, quickly, the the conversation was pretty light. We were discussing. I was just like, I'll do it for free. I'll help you out, and then we'll build a relationship. And later that day, after thinking about it, we got to talking and realized there's probably a little bit more that we could be working on together and collaborating. He had told me he'd taken down all of his media, all of his music from the internet, mostly when streaming took over, because he wanted to hold on to the integrity of his projects. And wow, that is not going well. Okay, so we'll shift that there. Perfect. Perfect. I just needed to reset another camera and I did it with my watch. Damn. The first 4 minutes of that video are going to look crazy. Yeah. We realized there was more on the table. He realized he didn't want his music, being played or used without his permission. So he made a very prudent move to take it all down. But after playing big shows and moving around locally in the Mississippi, Alabama, Florida area, he would like to, branch out, expand his career, and I'm gonna be comfortable. This is my shit. He would like to expand his career and, you know, launch new music. And I thought it was amazing. And in my little project, I was like, well, I could help him. I can promote his stuff. And with a little bit more thinking, we just came to the idea that, I probably have the tools and the time and the energy to help put this all together for you. I would love to, be a part of your new musical journey. And it's it's a new it becomes a new journey for me too. I I sat down tirelessly for the past like two 3 months working on working on the podcast has been for a while, but this game plan has been for the past 2.5 months. And yeah, now we're ready to rock and roll, like publicly go out, and I'm ready to make a splash. Launching the podcast is not the first, is the first thing, but there's a whole lot more intricate pieces moving behind the scenes. And I have finally created something. I'm very proud of myself. There's not much more of this concept that everybody can see, but that is also the point of this podcast is weekly weekly I'll at least drop one official episode, but I'll be dropping YouTube videos. I don't like this angle. I'll be dropping YouTube videos. I'll be posting on social media, TikTok, Instagram, all that. Uh Pieces of content, but the main use of the pod is to detail and document my journey, like what I'm going to be doing week to week, working as a manager for a musician. Now, for context, for anybody who finds this podcast and does not know who I am, uh, welcome. Thank you for listening to Blow Meets World. Uh, I am a professional chef by trade. That's what I started in. Well, yeah, that's where my career began when I moved to the United States. I went to culinary school, crushed it, and it afforded me opportunities to travel. And I came to Florida, and life taught me lessons. Now, we'll get into those lessons further down the line. Uh, but I did a lot of growing up. I did a lot of growing up, and in living and experiencing just day to day, I would always come back to this. I want to start a podcast idea. I wanted to, this idea came to me, like for a lot of people, I'm sure, when they first started listening to Joe Rogan. And yeah, I have to give credit. That's where it started. I I worked on it. I tried. I launched a little. I didn't launch anything. That's a lie. I recorded something and it's sitting on a hard drive, waiting for a posthumous release. And it it was a start, but I was never able to really just make a lot of progress. But little by little, I would tinker and I used it as a hobby. It would keep me sane. I bought equipment. Like I would buy recording equipment, lighting equipment, in jobs where I was doing media and marketing for a company. I would, get little bits of gear here and there just to make my life and my job easier. I never try to waste money. I I, I still have most every bit of gear, and I love it. So this is all a culmination, leading into this being 2024, the year I decided that yeah, we are doing this come hell or high water. I took a lot of risks this year. I I am doing this full time. This is going to be my full time job, my full time career. If anybody sees me and knows me and wants to wonder what I'm doing, this is what I'm going to be doing. If I have a side job and you see me doing it, yeah, okay, cool. But this is what I do full time going forward. Whew, it's a lot. I So to keep it on track with Justin, we decided we had like a little meeting of the minds and decided, yo, we are going to I'm gonna manage you. You're gonna be an artist. You're gonna teach me what you know about the music industry, and I'm going to try and open as many doors that he's an older gentleman. He's like in his 50s. He's dope as cool. He's cool as shit. But I'm able to open up doors that maybe he doesn't see just because we're in slightly different age brackets. That's okay. Uh, it's good to have diversity. So yeah, going from there, oh my word. I mean, it's recording good sound, but yeah, it'll sound sync. It's fine. I can do that. I'm going to tell you, this isn't easy. Okay. Yeah, this is just the pod. We're 12 minutes in, and I think I've done it all. I need to give y'all at least 45 minutes of solid entertainment. Um, I How we got here. So I did an intro. Okay, how we got here. My history. I was born and raised in South Africa, to a single mom, with an older sister who pretty much raised me. She was amazing, and both of them were. I come from a pretty big, interesting family. I come from a mixed South African family. I hear a lot of talk about how people don't understand like what being colored is in South Africa. While I might be dark skinned and have like black heritage and black blood, I do come from a mixed blended family. So um yeah, recently, well, this is also topical. I want to make this pod as topical as possible, informative as to what I got going on a day, on a week to week basis, and also just so people can get to know me as this journey happens. I like the fact that I'm going to be dropping all of these on YouTube and they'll be easily accessible. I'm going to make all my content as accessible as possible. Um, yeah, grew up in South Africa, single mom, sister, uh, cool, dope, big family. I recently got contacted by a relative who told me he has been documenting and listing all of our family tree and wanted me to help him, like, fill in some blanks. I didn't, we never discussed all of our extended family too much when I was growing up. And when I moved away and came to the States, I definitely felt like, oh, when I go home, I want to have a deeper connection. I want to meet all the branches and, you know, homesick dreams is what those are called. Uh, I, I, yeah, blessing in disguise. He just sent me a list of all of my friends and family and extended relatives, and boy, that was cool. That was really cool. So that's something cool that's happened. I'm going to be making as much as I can, as this grows, I'm gonna have to be speaking to my family, of course. I'm gonna make content about filling in my family tree and meeting and researching because uh my great grandfather was English. My surname. I am a South African with an English surname, an English last name. And it makes no sense. It never made sense to me growing up. But as I learned, my great granddad was English. Him and his brother had settled in South Africa. And yes, my family tree was forged from there. But that means I also probably have like relatives in England or at least extended. And a little bit of 23 and Me, the the analog way. I don't feel like sending all my DNA in. Um, is cool. I've always wanted to see what my family tree looked like, and it is awesome. Um, that aside, that was a nice little break. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to be working on. I am I'm learning everything as I go. So in launching this, I had to let me get comfy. I had to learn how to use recording equipment and sound. I had to practice and make errors working with cameras. I have yet to get good at live streaming. That's one I'm working on in many different avenues. Uh, I am working on my editing skills. Editing is very hard. I am working on creating a team to help me put this all together. I'm doing a lot. This is a big project and it's a real project. I started a company and everything. I am making all the right moves. And it is heartwarming. I don't mean to like I'm not bragging, but it feels good to make moves. So for 29 and a half years, I I grew up very different. I like growing up in South Africa, I spoke English as a first language. This is uncommon, especially for somebody of my skin tone. I I had no explanation of why, but I also I learned to read very early. My sister taught me to read. I was able to read before like by kindergarten. I was reading at a early capacity and then it just went up from there. I I was always a kid with my hand up. I always had an answer. I was always there. I was I have good recall with my memory. So if somebody asks a question and I might have learned the answer to it, I can pull it out like it's like magic. Former colleagues and friends used to find it pretty fun. Um, I'm also thoroughly annoying because I can just blurt out facts on facts. And my recall is good. I don't argue from a place of malice, especially when in debate. I love debating uh, because facts should prevail and we're, participating in a Socratic competition. I I always struggled with like not focus, but being in my own head. I spent a lot of time as a kid in my own imagination, and it never felt bad or wrong. I was never like awkward. Oh, well, I was a pretty awkward kid, but I was sociable. Everything was cool. Nobody would have seen the signs. Fast forward to like high school. High school, I struggled a lot because if I didn't like the subject, we're not making progress. I'm sorry to tell you this as a teacher. If I didn't like, oh, I have a thing in my shoulder, so it makes me, okay, that's better. I, between first and seventh grade, I was a pretty good student. I wasn't the best because I just don't like writing work. I don't like writing. When I got to high school is when like failing marks started happening. Like this kid is failing this class. And it's either I didn't fuck with the teacher or I just couldn't focus. I could pass classes by just hearing the lesson, or not like hearing like being in the lesson, reading the coursework. I could just go pass the test without having to really study for it. That is cool, but it's not good for like subjects like math because you need to like get your practice in. But I was really good at business, economics. I was excellent at history. I was very good with languages. I, yeah, I was a 50-50 good, horrible student. And there's nothing to glean from that up until that point. I left and went into I left school. I didn't leave school. I graduated high school and then went into the working world where I I could not book campaigns, get all of my warehouse stuff. When I worked for the Creative Council, it was a miracle I made all the the achievements I did, because I was one of the youngest BAM agents, and for anybody who knows, a BAM agent is a he books promoters. So I would gather a group of promoters, get them trained, get them all their gear, get them scheduled up, get them to an event, make sure the event goes well, and then at the end of the event, I pay them, and then hopefully book them again. And that was the relationship. Nothing is ever as easy as it sounds, uh, but I could note. But even in doing this, I wasn't terrible at my job, but I knew that it was different. There's levels to this because I could. It would take me a few hours to book a campaign. It would take my partners 30 minutes, 20 minutes. And I thought they were just magic. Fast forward, we get to 2024, the year of truth. And I've been going to therapy for the past like 3 years. I love therapy. By the way, I recommend therapy to anybody. Even if you're not in a bad place, go to therapy. You'll be better. It's amazing. You finish therapy, you were in a bad place, you finish the therapy, you're in a good place. Keep going to therapy. Keep up the good work. Um, I went to therapist number one. Therapist number one was awesome. I needed to get upgraded. I got the extra therapy, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It took me from here. Now I'm in this therapy, the real therapy. And um it is great. My progress, fix everything. But we couldn't get around how I would get overwhelmed. Like I'm 29 now. I'm dealing with like, big boy life. It's like, why was I getting so overwhelmed? Why could I not make progress? Why could I not like make things link? Like, you have a good job, things are going well. Grr, chaos, 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 chaos. You have a good job, things go well. Grr, chaos. Like, why couldn't they go, good job, everything goes well, move, travel back home. Like traveling back home became a goal I kept trying to reach and just could not like make it there. And for anyone who knows and loves me, this was very hard. This is very difficult, and it's still something like I'm not dealing with today. I think I'm past it. Me and my family have spoken, and we're on good, like we're in a good space. But I still haven't returned home, and that is also what this is supposed to bring. Um, Working in corporate or just working for somebody else meant that I was at the behest of somebody else. I was at the behest of how much money they wanted to pay me, when they wanted me to work, how they treated me, w- everything. And I'm not, I'm sensitive to all of the stimuli in my life. And when the stimuli of like my employer is trash, well, I'm certain you're going to get a trash product. And that sucks for all parties involved. Damn, settle these lights. Lights tripping. Um, ooh. Oh, I mean, I should be talking. I don't know why. I'm trying to be the one take king here. I Yeah, it's not bad actually. Match this shit. Fucking Naruto. Um, yeah, it was hard on my family. So in a few months, all goes well. I'll be taking this podcast on the road and going back home. I'll document it. I'll have a good old time with my family, and I'll come back and make this project rock even harder. That's the plan. That's the goal. But yes, we get to why I couldn't like kind of make shit click. Turns out the brother has the ADHDest of ADHD. And I don't mean that just to like, because I'm, I didn't enjoy coming to the realization, but it really made things click. It made things make sense as to why certain things in my life go well, or I'm so capable, or at least where I can find value in myself. But it also explained why certain things just didn't go. And that was okay too. It made it a bit easier to come to peace with those things. And why it took 6 years to launch a podcast. It does not take 6 years to launch a podcast. Like other people have launched, died, murdered a pod, launched another one, it failed, it took me 6 years to launch the one. And that speaks to something, you know. But for right now, it speaks to I've been sitting on this. I've been cooking this plan. At least not just the plan, the vision, the motivation. I have a lot of influences, and they're going to like come out in my content, in how I learned lessons about efficiency, lessons about how other people run their operations, how you scale your media business, how do you make YouTube work for you? How do you I I look at all of this. Anytime I go online, for me it's just what can we learn from this today? You know? Uh yeah. I I am I'm launching Project Phase 1. So, Project Phase 1. Look away. Keep looking at the camera. Project Phase 1 is me launching the podcast, basically. Phase 1 and Phase 2 is this is me launching my podcast, talking about what I'm going to be doing, talking about the community I'm going to be impacting. I live in Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. Santa Rosa Beach is like a little island city, uh, uh in the panhandle of Florida. between Destin and Panama City. It's it's a beautiful place. I don't. It's hard to. It's I'm trying to. I'm trying to convey this as well as I can. It's a beautiful beach community in town. It's uh great beaches, lovely people, really and truly. This community really took care of me, and I was able to like grow and flourish here. I also like I owe the community a lot. I lived in Gulf Place. I lived in Seagrove on 30A. 30, okay, so for anybody back home who's listening, 30A is a super fancy beach road that like goes along the coast, and lots of very very expensive houses are on this road, but it's a cool place to hang out, to work, to be. It's unlike any other place in the States. It's super quiet, it's super safe, everything shuts down pretty early. um yeah, it's a good place to kind of grow and evolve, and I'm almost ready to spread my wings, but I still have a lot of work to do in the community. I yes, 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 yes. So from this launching, I I realize what I'm doing. I am a young person of color starting a business, and I'm in the media space. I have the ability to both promote other people and promote myself. And one of the things I realized is like there are so many people who, when I moved here, I was 23. Yeah, I was 22 going on 23, and I met a few people. I met a bunch of people. I worked in a bunch of places, and dudes like myself that worked in kitchens, that worked on the beach, that cut grass. Eventually, they went on to start their own businesses and do their own thing. And now I want to have a place where I can, like you, my friends can come through and I can talk to them and interview them and talk about their business. I really believe people creating their own, mm, mm, um, creating their own project. Not everything is a business or a company. Um, I mean, yeah, you can cook out of your backyard and, serve the family, serve the community every Sunday. But you're not really looking at it as it, and you charge per plate, but you're not really looking at it as like a fully fledged company. But even for people like that who have a little thing that they have going on, I want to talk to them. I want to invite them over, have good conversation, uh, get into how they got into what they're doing, and have a good time. People have projects that maybe nobody knows. I would like to be a conduit for bridging my cool friends. So I'm gonna shout out who a few people who are local that I want on the pod. Fuck, I forgot his last name. Jake from Jake's Beach Service. I met him back in 2018 when Shankali first opened, and we were sitting at the bar, just like kind of broke, waiting for. We're just kind of broke, drinking like cheap beer, pulling the night pass, and it was awesome. He was a cool guy. We got to chat, and year by year at Team, we'd catch up. And a couple of months ago, I was like, "Yeah, I'm starting a podcast. I'd like to have you on." And he was excited as I was. I then needed to make the work happen to like start the pod. Then we have Flowers and Booze on Instagram, and Daniela. Daniela, I met at Old Florida Fish House. I used to be a server at Old Florida Fish House. Hey, Old Florida, if you're hiring this summer, I'll take a job. Thank you. So, I yeah, I met her and she was cool. The coolest Ecuadorian. Uh, she's just dope. She's a bartender who's very passionate about her craft. She went to, I think, the New York Bartending Institute or something like that. I Yeah, I found her passion like inspiring, and I stopped working there. I followed her on Instagram, and I saw her building her little thing, her little project, and she told me about it. Actually, back then, she had a little bar cart in our house that she would just make drinks on and make videos. Her videos were very pretty. She she has I'm good at planning. I'm good at planning, executing, and like I'm good at other things. What I'm really not good at is making things pretty. And I know that. Like I would rather ask somebody who can make something pretty, come help me with this. Like come over. I built something cool. Can you make it pretty though? And yeah, she had this. She just makes like flowers and booze. Really is how it's. She makes beautiful drinks that are garnished and dressed beautifully. I'm yet to taste them because I haven't seen it in a while. But oh, dude, my neck. It's making me lean weird. Yeah. So, it is tight. Uh, so yeah, I would love to have her on. There's a few people. There's actually a few people. And oh yeah, once this launches, I am fully just blasting emails and setting up dates because now that enterprise is going to be called Blowy Meets Business. And it's mostly going to be I'll launch I'll probably have it as a second a second podcast, and yeah, I'll just put all the videos up. I want to make that a 30-minute series. So just 30-minute interviews, launch, put them up on YouTube. Yeah, Blow Meets Business coming soon. And that's the one. Oh, so now that we're in this, and this is probably gonna be a short pod. I am gonna be traveling this tomorrow from I'm recording it quickly so I can travel tomorrow. I want to say thank you to a few people. I want to say thank you to my mom and sister for being patient and waiting for me to for yeah, just waiting for me to like kind of get this all together. Fulfilling a dream is hard, and my mother taught me even through the hard work, you can still fulfill a dream. Even through the hard times, it's possible. So I'm working on it. I I want to say thank you to damn, that list is so long. There's so many people over the years. Um, but currently, I want to say thank you to Charlotte for all your support. You're amazing. I want to say thank you to RJ. He's helped me create all the cinematography. Like, he's a cinematographer, and he has helped me kind of learn and put this all together. He's been very supportive, and we're going to be working together a lot more as this project grows. I want to say thank you to Maddie. She and I work together doing marketing and media for restaurants, and she taught me a lot. She's very supportive, super sweet, and we're going to be working a lot more together now going forward as this project grows. But yeah, special super thanks to you. Thank you to Justin. for really not just putting a battery in my back, but giving me a not just subject matter, but something to work on and realize, see, and believe in. Because I've always loved music in what I feel is a special way. And I believe that's true for everybody. Music affects everybody differently. And oh, it's still good. Yeah. Music, sorry. Music affects everybody differently. It's I didn't think I had a special I didn't think I was special because I never learned how to play an instrument because I couldn't focus. By the way, I tried. I had a drum kit in this room, probably right where this is being recorded from. There used to be a drum kit here, and I had to send it away for safekeeping to my boy Six because like it just wasn't being used, and that was sad. I um because I've always wanted to learn how to play drums. I love music, bass, drums, percussions, all those sounds, crashes, synths, and screeches. I love that. Uh, and because I didn't have anything to say, like, oh yeah, I now have a way to enter the music industry. I'm not doing this for fame. The I'm doing this because I grew up in media. I grew up in market. My first career was in marketing, and I'm starting this new journey. Like I wanted a pod. Justin gave me like purpose to blend all of these things to where I stopped listening to. Going through depression is not fun. So we're not going to get into that, and I probably won't because I don't care anymore. But when you're depressed, sometimes music isn't as it's hard to listen to because there's music doesn't hit the same. And coming out of it, the feeling when music touches your soul, and I felt that again. I I didn't want to let go. And in through this project, I'm pretty sure I'm never gonna let go again, and I'll be able to help create hopefully amazing bodies of work and facilitate art. That is really the main thing I want to do. Is art is very sensitive. Art is very delicate. I want to create a bastion for, for art because this project for me is art. I don't paint, I don't sculpt. I cooked. And that was it for me. That was my thing. I could fuck up a pot, you know what I'm saying? But I never created what would be called, classical art. And I always loved it. I love everything about. I love any kind of artistic experience. Not any. Not any. I love a lot of art in many shapes and forms. So I get to feel that through this project. I have a pretty good. I think I'm not gonna say I have a good business mind. That's yet to be tested, but I did well in these subjects, and I understand the subject matter well. So I'm going to use my brain. Like I'm just gonna use my brain to make this project happen. Like that's it's as simple as it's gonna be. I I probably have a lot more thank yous. But yeah, Justin put a battery in my back. And now we're gonna carry it forward. Shout out to 6Q dogs. Shout out to all my friends back home. The guys, the everyone. How many? Let me do this list quickly. Okay. Landry, Taylor, Tariq, Kane, Gila, Lenny. Then we go Cabello, all the gang from Dominican Convent. Okay, cool. All of my friends from the Creative Council. It was a very big portion of my life. I made a lot of friends at Vodacom when I worked there briefly. Shout out to y'all. Lincoln. Shout out to Lincoln. Yeah, there are probably a lot more names. Shout out to my friends, my family, my cousins. Shout out to Sam and Brian. Y'all have been very supportive. Um, Lizzie, thank you for staying tight with my mom. Letty, same to you. It's been a rough year. Sorry for all the loss our family has endured. But yeah, thank you to everyone. I will be updating everybody weekly. As soon as this drops, there will be a lot more like information that comes with it. So please stay posted. I love that I get to do this. I love and appreciate you for listening. Please, these these next things are very important. Anywhere you see my podcast, please go like it, go give it a rating. Anywhere you see any little piece of content, please, especially in these early stages, I'm going to be sending this directly to like friends and family and asking, please repost this, please share this, please get the word out. As the project grows, as I interact more with people, there'll be a lot more ways that this content comes out. I'm just very grateful that I get to do it. For more information, you can find me on Instagram. Bloy Meets World as a tag is active. Sean Bloy. You can, yeah, for any business. I am such an unserious person. This is not gonna go well. I'm joking. No, this is gonna go very well. But I am such an unserious person. For any any emails, if you'd like to email me, it is Sean SEAN at SeanBloyProductions.com. For anything else, just send me a DM and we can communicate from there. I appreciate everyone. Thank you very much. This has been Bloy Meets World. Yeah. This is going to be a raw drop. I'm just going to drop this. This isn't going to be no sound, no intro, just yay! Craziness. All right. Love you. Bye. Blah, 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 blah. I stole that from Joe Biden. Wait, I have to leave that in. Oh, I stole that from Ish. I'm not even going to front. I stole that from Ish. Blah, 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 blah. And we are out.